Hey, it's Jordan, the 1031 doctor, bringing you another solid triple net deal for your 1031 exchange. I'm a former senior broker with Marcus and Millichap. I've been buying, building, selling, leasing triple net deals across the country since 1986. Let's take a look and dive into this deal I found today. It's a Burger King in a historic property in South Philly, Pennsylvania. Now, I've never done a deal in Pennsylvania. Most of my deals are in the western states in the Midwest. So, Philadelphia is not I don't have a lot of background in Philadelphia other than what I can read and do a little research. But I understand that this is the kind of location that Burger King would really do well in. It's across from a pretty large high school and across from a subway terminal. Historic buildings, I do know a little bit about historic buildings, and I'll tell you this, probably on the historic register, which means you're not allowed to redevelop this property. And that's the building. It's a very small lot, so there's not going to be any parking. There's not going to be any land play here. The play here is the value of the historic structure itself and the premium you'll get from a retailer like Burger King wanting to be in an inner city like this. And that is the value of the property. So there's no real redevelopment value. Although if it's not on the registry, you might be able to do something. I just don't think the parcel's large enough. But here's the deal. So it's a typical five cap. It's a corporate Burger King, which is definitely what you want. It's a brand new deal. Lease expires 2040. I'm sure they have options. Oh yeah, two 5 year and one 4.5 year and one 5 year. That's odd. So here's a little more information on the deal. Um, Corporate guarantee is definitely what you want. Rare walk-up location in the heart of South Philly. Um, did a full renovation. Snyder Station, 120,000 riders per day. That's significant. Having fast food next to a subway in an inner city, you really can't go wrong. They're saying Avenue of the Arts. Well, I don't really understand that part of the city, so I can't really respond to that. But it's a couple miles from the shipyards that I do know a little bit about. Burger King is the second largest fast food chain in the world with over 19,000 locations. That's why I like them. I prefer Burger King over McDonald's. I mean, taste-wise, I've always preferred Burger King. So you are next to a high school. That's your exact customer you want. So I think Burger King is going to do really well there. And it looks like there's some decent traffic and there's some nice developments going on in the area. So I think this is really going to do well. The issue is the five cap deal. This is a price point of $2.9 million. So it's not cheap. This is like a bond. And but I do like the location. I like the historic building, and it's just been on the market 5 days, and I'm sure they're getting offers already from people in exchanges like you. So that is what we're dealing with. And let's open the OM and see if we can find anything else that's interesting. View OM. So here's how the building sits. You can see that looks like a subway entrance, but I'm not sure. I thought the subway entrance was across the street. Don't like seeing the graffiti, and South Philly is South Philly. I've heard, things about South Philly is kind of a tough neighborhood, but that's the kind of property you want to have, the kind of use you want to have in a property in a tough neighborhood. Burger King, that's your customer. It's definitely not Beverly Hills. And here's your disclaimer. 1.9 miles to City Hall. So that's a nice walk. I don't think people are going to walk. There's probably Burger Kings in downtown, so they're not going to walk there. But that proximity to downtown City Hall is 1.9 miles, not bad. And it looks like they're doing a medical deal next door. So there'll be a development project next door. They're doing a grocery underway, under contract, 9,000 square foot market right here. That's not bad. Broad Street, I've heard of Broad Street. And it is the main drag going right to downtown Philly. So I'm sure it's a good a good street to be on. There's the address, 15-year term. And so it's a walk up, no drive through. So, that tells you something. This is not a suburban location. This is urban, and it's walk up for sure. You're going to have a lot of foot traffic around. 10%, typical 10% rent increases every 5 years. They did a full renovation. Now they said something about the roof. Want to make sure in the lease that this is not a double net lease or a modified net lease where the landlord is responsible for the roof. Tenant full renovation, brand new roof as of August 25. That's what I saw. So that kind of lends me to think that the landlord might be responsible for the roof in the lease. I don't know. I have to take a look at deeper dive on this deal. So it gives you another so you're definitely across from a high school. Here's the Broad Street subway. Okay, that's there. It's a good picture. So here's the population, 800,000 in a 5 mile. This is higher density than normal. And average household income in a 3 mile is 103,000. That's probably taking into some of downtown, but 80,000 right in the within a mile. That's not terribly low income. I wouldn't consider that low income, but in Philadelphia, I'm not sure. It's a signalized intersection adjacent to high school. That's the really good part about this deal. You want to have a Burger King next to a high school. That works all day long. 1.6 miles from Philadelphia Sports Complex and a casino. So you got a hotel right there. It's still a mile and a half away. It's not exactly close, but it's a driver. Building's beautiful. I mean, this is an old bank building. So there's some pride of ownership to this. And I'm sure there's a really interesting history behind this building, which I would, if I was buying it, I'd want to know everything that happened there. Could be some significant events, historic events. Anyways, that's about it. We already know about Burger King, 19,000 stores, 120 countries. That's as good as it gets. And system-wide location, 19,000 Burger King, 30,000 system-wide. Wow. 11 billion in revenue. It's double B rated on the S&P 500. Okay, that's about it. If you're in a 1031 exchange and you need a quick analysis, a second opinion on a deal, the 1031 doctor provides a 24-hour turnaround for $299 anywhere in the nation. Feel free to reach out at Jordan at 1031doctor.com. And you can check out my website. And please like, subscribe, and share this video. Have a great day.